In northern China there lies a place called Jurihe, meaning heart in Mongolian. A grand military parade was held here to celebrate the 90th anniversary of the founding of the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Taking a new look after reforms, the Chinese military is proudly advancing into a new era. While the Chinese people followed the military parade, the world's eyes were on the Chinese military. In his address at the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China, Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, stressed that China would adapt to the trend of a new global military revolution and to national security needs, upgrade its military capabilities, and see that, by the year 2020, mechanization has been basically achieved, IT application has come a long way, and strategic capabilities have seen a big improvement. China would also see that, by 2035, the modernization of national defense and armed forces is basically completed, and that by the mid-21st century, the People's Armed Forces have been fully transformed into world-class forces. This People's Army started its arduous journey from Nanchang, and has ever since gone through the magnificent and glorious years of revolutionary struggle. Through this, the Jinggangshan spirit, the Long March spirit, the Yan'an spirit, the anti-Japanese invasion war spirit, and the Xi Baipo spirit were nurtured and have been handed down from generation to generation. Such revolutionary spirit is inherited like blood and genes, and has become the collective memory of the Chinese nation. It is a source of enlightenment for the Chinese military, a powerhouse of military development, and the beacon under which we steadfastly and confidently march forward into the new era. In 2018, at the new historical starting point, the PLA, remaining true to its original aspiration and keeping its mission in mind, will thoroughly study and implement Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, comprehensively realize Xi Jinping thought on strengthening the armed forces, and endeavour to achieve the party's goal of building a strong military in the new era, and make the PLA a world-class force. At 7:36 a.m. on 1st of January 2018, the PLA Guards of Honour and the PLA Band, for the first time, performed their duty at the national flag-raising ceremony at Tiananmen Square. Starting at midnight the same day, the commanding structure of the Chinese People's Armed Police Force was adjusted, so that the PAP no longer reports to the State Council but the Central Military Commission. At a ceremony on the 10th of January, Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, the Chinese President, and Chairman of the CMC, conferred the flag to the PAP and gave instructions. We have reshuffled the Academy of Military Science, the National Defense University, and the National University of Defense Technology in order to build a world-class military research institution, a comprehensive university focusing on joint command, and an institution of higher education, thus bringing about new prospects in military personnel development and military science and research. We steadily promote reform in military policy and institution. The newly revised Regulation on Civilian Personnel in the Military has been issued to reshuffle the system for posting civilian personnel, marking a step forward in reforming the institution on employing civilian personnel in the military. The newly revised PLA Regulation on the Military Interior Service, Regulation on Code of Conduct, and Regulation on Military Formation have been issued as well, laying the legal foundation of standardization of the Chinese military in the new era. Over the past few years, bold and resolute reforms in defense and military fields have proceeded swiftly and steadily. In major areas, historic steps of modification have been taken, and historic breakthroughs and accomplishments made. As a result, the mechanism, structure, pattern and feature of the People's Armed Forces have been thoroughly renewed. With the new era starts a new journey. On the 3rd of November 2017, Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, the Chinese President, Chairman of the CMC, and Commander-in-Chief of the CMC Joint Operations Command Center